What is the 17th letter of the alphabet? Come on.
I really don't know. Come on.
Now, just guess. Guess.
A, B, C, D,
No.
E, F,
Guess.
G,
Just guess.
H, I,
Stop.
J,
Cheater.
K, L, M, N, O, P,
Cheater. You are a
Q, R.
cheater.
It's R. The one programming language that I don't know. R.
It's Q.
Oh.
I mean, I think it is.
Bro, I can't believe I sang the entire song and then I got it wrong.
I think it is. I'm just joking. Anyway, yeah, podcast time. How's it going, everybody? Hope everybody's having a grand old time. I just got done streaming some awesome Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and
Pokemans.
Yeah, it was a fun time. I haven't streamed it in like a month. I had a really good time. I've beat the Elite Four from the DLC for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and I wanted to just quickly mention that the Pokemon character writing is pretty good now, honestly. Now, in the past, there's always been like characters that have been fun, right? Nothing that was super deep, but just characters that are really, really fun. And with Scarlet and Violet specifically, it was, right? It was kind of all samey, especially like back when you played Pokemon a little bit, which you just play. Wait, which ones did you play?
I only played one. Do you want to take a guess?
Hold on. I think I know what it was. Was it Leaf Green?
No.
It was a GB. Wait, hold on. What console was it on?
Well, technically, I played it in my browser, but
okay. See, that's why I thought it was a GBA game. Was it Fire Red?
It wasn't a GBA game. I don't think a browser could have handled a GBA game back when I played. That was in like what, 2000?
Oh, wait. So then
maybe like 2012 or 2013, maybe. I don't know.
Was it gold or silver?
It was gold, yeah.
Okay, you played gold.
I played silver too.
Well, you
played gold. It was kind of a cruddy experience because I didn't know how emulators worked back then. So I found this website called Play. Now I'm not endorsing this, Nintendo.
No. Yeah,
not endorsing this behavior.
It wasn't an emulator, right? It was an imaginationary dream. It was a dream.
Oh, it was a website.
Yeah. No, it was an imaginary website from your dream, right? When you were sleeping.
It was from my dream. I'm just so good. I made the website in my dream. I'm so good at coding that I just coded the website in my dream, and then I played Pokemon in the website that I coded.
Right.
So good
exactly. Yeah. That's impressive to do that. Yeah. That's a master of lucid dreaming right there.
Yeah, master of lucid dreaming. There was a bug though because it was on a website. The time would never change, so it was always daytime or nighttime.
Oh, that just means the internal battery has run dry. Please do whatever that's a GBA Pokemon funny moment because all the internal batteries have run dry in all those games.
Well, so whenever you set the date, it would just be like the only time would pass would be when you were playing the game. So like it would just always be one time unless you played the game a really long time.
Okay. Well, so you played Gold, but you watched Let's Plays of other Pokemon games, right? I thought you did at least.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. Well then,
I only know of Pokemon Gold.
Okay then, well, I guess I'm wrong. I know the little rookie is a big Pokemon guy, so it would be helpful if he was here, but he is busy at the moment. But yeah, the character writing in Pokemon, it's always been fine, right? It's always been fine. I think ever since Gen 7, I think the characters have been getting a little bit stronger, a little more interesting. Sun and Moon had some pretty good characters. I like Gen 8's characters, but Gen 9 has some, I'd say, pretty strong characters, right? There's a main cast of like 3 friends that you travel around with, sort of, and they're all pretty good. I think only one of them in particular is like really strong. But there's this new character in the DLC named Kieran, and he actually has like this really interesting arc that he's going through. And I'm not going to spoil it for anybody who hasn't played it, but it actually makes me interested in like a Pokemon character besides just like the basics of them, which I find to be really interesting.
Be the very best.
That's like literally what he wants. That's kind of actually like his character. He wants to be the very best, but he realizes he has to fight the protagonist. And when you're the protagonist, you get all the love and all the glory because that's what they do for the player character.
It's like some Pokemon anti-hero stuff.
It is. He's literally like an anti-hero. It's pretty interesting. I'm not gonna get into it more than that though. All I'm gonna say is that like Pokemon's like has pretty interesting characters now. In the past, it was all just kind of like, you know, generic, like, oh, let's just battle Pokemon. Yeah, awesome. I guess Gen 5 had actually some good characters. I forgot to say Gen 5. I probably should have said starting at Gen 5. I just thought it's probably because Gen 6 had mid characters. So yeah, Gen 5 had good characters. Then Gen 6 was mid. Gen 7 had good characters. Gen 8 had a couple good characters, and Gen 9 has some good characters too. I don't know. I just think it's really cool that there are just some good characters that I actually am passionate towards in Pokemon when they're pretty few and far between.
You know, it's so interesting because I feel like Pokemon is like the one series that has like the most potential for just general world building. And I just feel like we've gotten so used to like the tropes, you know, in Pokemon.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Anyone who's ever played a Pokemon game. But like, I remember when like Detective Pikachu, that trailer came out, everyone was like blown away by like the world building. I actually never saw the movie, unfortunately.
The movie was okay. There was like, I think like you could have cut out like 50% of the movie and it still would have been fine. It just felt like 50% was kind of not needed. It was pretty good though. It was an enjoyable time. But it's funny that you do mention world building, because at least for the DLC in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, they actually add on a bit more. For example, you actually go back to a previous region, not the exact same like locations from like Black and White or whatever, but you go back to the same region from Black and White. And even though it's like it's not a location that you can visit in Black and White, it's still like supposed to be in the same area. And I find that to be really, really cool because they actually have a lot of characters there that have previous relations to characters from Black and White, which is really cool because Black and White are the next games they have to remake in the series. And I think it's really neat that they add on to like little world building stuff there. Obviously, like they could still expand on it a lot more. And there is like some good world building in Pokemon. What with like people who have been lost, like I think Annabelle, her name. That's a character who is pretty fascinating with world building. Looker is across many different games. There's also Ingo. He's a very cool character. He was sent back to the past from Pokemon Black and White into Pokemon Legends Arceus. Stuff like that. I know you don't know what I'm talking about here, but you know, it definitely adds to the world building. I think Pokemon has been expanding on that for sure. It's cool to take them steps in that direction. Just because, you know, people always clown on Pokemon, like modern Pokemon nowadays, but there are still a lot of good things about Pokemon that I really enjoy.
Do you know what would really help with the world building?
What's that?
Team Magma.
Oh, because they give more land. Ha ha ha! Funny. Ha ha ha! Funny.
Oh, come on, that was good. That was good. Come on.
No, that was
Come
good.
on.
That was good. I'll give up. That's good. Moving on from Pokemon though, another childhood favorite, funny monster game. You have Yu-Gi-Oh written down here. You want to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh?
So for people who watched Yu-Gi-Oh like as a kid, I honestly Yu-Gi-Oh isn't even that good as a show. Like watching it back, like it's not that great. But kind of like sometimes you just, as an adult, you kind of just watch shows that you watched as a kid because you get to finish stuff that you never bothered to finish because it was just aired on 4Kids or something, and you could only watch it on Saturday mornings and it was completely out of order. Or you could go on. The real secret is you could go onto the 4Kids website and watch all of them in order. But
what? Wait, there's a 4Kids website? Is it still up?
There used to be.
Oh,
no.
Rip. Okay. Well then.
Bro, 4Kids has been gone for like a long time.
I know, well, there are some, you know, Blockbuster and HH Greg still have websites, so they've been gone for a while. I didn't know if 4Kids is the same.
Man, HH Greg, what do you mean? HH Greg isn't gone, it's still here. It's just a website now.
That's what I mean. That's what I meant for like 4Kids. I didn't know if they still had like a secret, you know, undercover website run by like 3 people or something. You never know.
No.
But yeah, no, it's funny that you mentioned that Yu-Gi-Oh is kind of like trash or whatever, because I think I wouldn't say it's trash because I've seen like 12 episodes or something, and I only watched it when I was adult.
I think it would not be trash if it like, okay, the only reason why I think it's not that great is just because like, okay, Yu-Gi-Oh was arguably the most creative one, like the original was the most creative. Everything else after that just kind of fell off.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Well, like, okay, so let me just tell you the premises of the Yu-Gi-Ohs, all of them.
You know, I know the OG one because I watched 11 episodes of that one, and I thought it was cheesy, it was corny, but it was actually enjoyable to watch.
Well, I mean, that was only the first season. It gets a lot better actually after the first season.
So I've heard.
Yeah, but anyways, Yu-Gi-Oh is like, it's like I don't know, like ancient Egypt. You have monsters, dark magic, whatever. That's interesting, right? That's kind of cool. And also you have like freaking some sort of situation where like 2 people are kind of like in the same body. That's actually also interesting, you know? So it has like all these interesting and really creative ideas, right?
Yup.
For some reason that's in a card game. But also some reason card games are involved. I don't know. Like,
and also the card games like are the most important thing in society and not like actual education. It's all about the card
they
game.
go to school. They go to school. They go to school, high school like, students. But you don't ever see them at school, except like, yeah.
No, it's like everything. There's like it's like all regular, but like whenever something important happens, it's always the card game, right? It's always centered around the card game.
Well, yeah, it's always centered on the card game. The entire card game has just kind of like... Actually, some guy, like, did an analysis of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Timeline, and essentially, we were forced to conclude that, like, essentially, like, the moment the card game got created, it exploded in popularity to the point it just took over society and became the most important thing in the world.
That's so funny.
I mean, no, it just got kind of goofy. Like, you just can't take it too seriously sometimes, because, like, sometimes you just have people traveling, like, creating, like, giant satellites just to, like, travel back in time to duel people.
Yeah, exactly. It's so goofy. I love that part about it. Though. It's like, it's so dumb, but it's just like, yeah, I love how dumb this is, dude. This is hype, because it's so stupid.
Well, no, but once you can get past that, it's okay, right? We can suspend our disbelief long enough, and then, like, okay, it's all right. So, okay, and then we have Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, all right, which is basically the same thing, except they, like, kind of expand on the world a bit more. Like, it's a very, like, direct sequel almost, except it doesn't follow the same characters.
Yeah, it's
basically
got, like,
just
new
Yu-Gi-Oh! At
protagonists.
school. It's just at school. They made a school for Yu-Gi-Oh! I guess. Even though this is like, actually, my friend pointed this out once. He's like, "Why do we have a school for learning how to duel when everyone already knows how to do that?" Like, clearly everyone here knows how to do it because it happens in every episode. But so why do we need to go to school for it? But anyway, so basically it's a school and bunch of different more dark magic stuff happens. I don't know. You just have to you kind of just have to suspend your disbelief long enough to like believe that cards are the source of all power in the universe or something. All right. Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds after that is arguably the most interesting because it's like it's supposed to be set in the future, but like from what people thought the future would look like in 2008 or something. I forget when it was officially came out. It's like around the 2010s, I think.
Yeah, I believe, if I'm not correct, I believe each different little series has a different protagonist. And then I think, I'm not entirely sure if this is true. I don't know if it's like the specific one that you're talking about. But there's a movie, right, where all the three protagonists like cross over or something, right?
Yeah, but that one wasn't that good.
Oh, really? Okay, I always thought it was pretty
involved
hype.
Time travel. I mean, it involved time. It was hype for the fans, but like I felt like it was more fan service than anything. Like after looking back at it,
I guess that's fair.
Like it was kind of cool, but I mean, it wasn't really that big a deal. It's also like,
was it canon?
I think it was technically canon, but no one remembers it based on how the movie worked.
Oh, it's probably like one of those like time travel, like, oh, we have to forget everything that happened here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So many movies end like that, bro. I swear, it's so good. That's how like most of the things, like any crossover that happens, it's like, yeah, this is a total canon crossover, but we forget our memories so that doesn't impact our original stories at all. That's the freest way to do any crossovers for anything. It's just like, yep, here we are. We're in a new world. We run around, do things, but we lose our memories at the end of it so that we can keep our original stories intact. So goofy.
Anyways, so like, and then we have Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, where basically we're in the near future, where somehow we found a way to make a reactor using Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. But, like, somehow there was, like, a dangerous super reaction that happened, which destroyed, like, a piece of the city. That, like, and it's actually set in the original city that the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Was put in, but in the future. And an explosion happened, and it blew off a piece of the city. And now everyone there is kind of poor, and that's where our new protagonist is from, and he's like trying to like get back to the big city because one of his friends escaped with he took one of his cards and his motorcycle apparently, and he became
not the motorcycle,
and he used those two to become a dueling champion, and now he's like kind of wanting revenge or something, which is actually really interesting for like a Yu-Gi-Oh concept because like all the other ones
a
were
revenge
just like
plot is interesting, yeah.
Well, yes, and like he's like, I guess it handles friendship in such like a different way than the other Yu-Gi-Oh stories. Like all the other Yu-Gi-Oh stories is like, oh yeah, friendship will get us through all our problems. And this one
like the
is more like
kind of thing. Yeah.
This one is more like, how does friendship actually like change us as a person, and how do we like how do we become better people through being friends? And that's like really interesting.
Yeah, that's actually a really interesting concept. Does it actually like execute it well though? Or
I think it executes it pretty well, as long as you can suspend your disbelief about card games on motorcycles, but...
Okay.
I mean, aside from that. Anyways, and then after that, it just kind of falls off, in my opinion. So, the next one, I think, people say apparently is the best Yu-Gi-Oh! The next one is, unlike the last three, which it's unclear if it's related to the last three, because it's set in a different city. The other few were set in, like, the same city, just at, like, different points in time, and so it's not clear if this one is really a sequel or just like a different story. But I guess the next one was just like an alien from outer space loses their memories, but their memories are in Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And
oh my gosh, that's
and it's
so
kind of like but it's kind of like the first one. It's actually kind of like the first Yu-Gi-Oh, where I feel like it was kind of ripping it off, because like in the first Yu-Gi-Oh, like
there's the Pharaoh or whatever.
Like the Pharaoh couldn't remember his memories, and so, but this time they're just in Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and so they get more of them by like dueling other people, and they're just kind of scattered around the world. And also, like, no one can see them except one person, the alien dude. So
that's goofy.
That is kind of goofy. Also, there's this key that the protagonist wears, just like in the original. Honestly, it was kind of very much of like a reboot of the original, now that I think about it.
Oh, I gotcha. I mean, I do think all those concepts do sound interesting, and they would definitely appeal to like kids, who is probably the target audience.
Well, yeah. So this, I mean, after that, I feel like it kind of falls off, like even in terms of story writing. The next one is just the dialogue is just so goofy. Like I honestly, I'm trying to remember like a line of dialogue because it was just so goofy. I watched it with the little rookie. Actually, we were watching some of these Yu-Gi-Ohs.
Wait, so you're telling me in the newer series without the 4Kids writing, you're telling me that's goofier than the 4Kids writing?
I don't even know if it was through 4Kids. It was so No, it was just like dumb as a concept. It was just like, basically in the new series, there's virtual reality. It's even more futuristic now. Wow.
Oh boy.
And apparently, I honestly, I only watched one episode because it was just so hard to watch. Because it was so cringe when I watched it. And I'm very sorry to anyone who actually enjoyed it, but I just did not. Because the most funny and goofy thing that I remember was the villain that they introduced after, like, I think the first couple episodes was literally just a chess piece.
No, that's stupid.
It was like a giant talking chess piece, and he sounded so evil, and I was just like, wow, so evil, so edgy. It's a chess piece.
Oh, it's cool because it's chess and it's classy and it's like the OG board game. Wow. That's funny.
No, I think me and the little rookie memed the original one. It was something about like, I forget, it was like a really stupid line of dialogue about like a hot dog being a sandwich or something.
Wait, no, I think I might know what you're talking about. I hear people talking about like, is the hot dog a freaking sandwich or not? Which, by the way, it totally is.
Is it?
Yeah. It's meat between two buns. Who cares if it's from the side or not?
I guess. I mean, I'd call a meatball sub a sandwich, so I guess a hot dog has to be a sandwich.
Yeah, it's still a sandwich. It's not just because it doesn't look like your average sandwich doesn't mean it can't be a sandwich.
It is a sandwich on the inside.
It's just a subcategory of sandwich.
All right. Oh wait, no. And then after that, it was actually okay again, where they did like a huge crossover thing once again, but actually as a series this time, where I forget, but it was like some multiverse stuff that happens, and actually each type of Yu-Gi-Oh card has its own like dimension that it's from, which is all the previous Yu-Gi-Ohs that we've ever seen, or something. I honestly, it didn't make very much sense, and it still doesn't. I never watched that much, but there was like canonical shipping in that one, which was interesting. And then we have Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s, which came out more recently.
How
I actually really like.
Are there? What the heck?
7 is the 7th one.
Oh,
so there's
my
7s. which came out recently, which is actually not like the other Yu-Gi-Ohs because they actually they made a different change to the game. Well, they made a change to the game where they made a new way to play the game, essentially, where it was like, I mean, for those of you that don't know Yu-Gi-Oh, like it used to be that duels would take maybe like half an hour or so. This was when I was playing. Apparently it used to take like an hour or so.
What? Wait, they take that long? Really?
This was really back in the day when you literally all you could do was attack and there wasn't a whole lot, and literally
No, what about nowadays? How long do they take nowadays? I thought they only took like 5 minutes.
Yeah, essentially. They only take 5 minutes nowadays, so a duel only lasts 3 turns at most in Yu-Gi-Oh! Nowadays.
What? That's so short. That's too short now.
At most. I think most duels end on the first turn, I feel like.
The first?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, because you can.
What's the point of
because
playing?
The way cards are structured, you can play cards on your opponent's turn, so it's not like there's really even a difference between your turn and your opponent's.
Wait, so that it ends on the first turn, so then what? Then the turn.
Yeah, I mean, you just kind of concede because you just kind of like your opponent just probably does some weird combo that you can't.
Then why
like,
even play the game? If you can't even play,
it's kind of just deck building at that point. I don't know. I honestly,
if you start the game and it's over by round 1, why do you even play? What's the point? If you don't even get a chance.
I mean, no, you do get a chance. You can play cards on your opponent's turn. This is why Yu-Gi-Oh is weird. Like Yu-Gi-Oh's added so many cards that you can just play on your opponent's turn. It's almost like your turn is kind of meaningless just because you can do so many things on your opponent's turn nowadays.
Oh my gosh.
Like you couldn't do before. So it's just kind of like, oh, I'm going to do all this stuff. Also, by the way, it's your turn still.
Dude, if this was like Fire Emblem Heroes, that would be like saver units, and all you gotta do is add in like null saves, and then boom, easy. Just say null end turn.
Do you want to give you an example, like
they should make
you can do on your opponent's turn?
They should make a card that says null opponent turn or whatever, where just like it doesn't allow people to play your opponent's. It doesn't allow your opponent to play cards on your turn.
There is a card like that.
Oh my gosh! Of course there is.
And it got banned.
Oh
it was too
no!
Good.
It was too good.
It was too good, I think. I think it got banned because there were decks like that, which basically there were decks that just stop you from doing everything, and that's how they win.
So it's just set up and sweep immediately, and then just can't do anything.
Well, no, it wasn't just set up and sweep. It was just set up and like turtle up, and then just like get your win con out.
Turtle up. That's so goofy. It just keeps spamming all your best stuff, and just watches your opponent. It's just like, when do I get to do anything? Oh, it's
well, actually,
so
it's
funny.
like, well, no, those effects are usually pretty balanced. So it'd be like, neither player can do this, neither player can do this, and it just ends up being like, you kind of just get to control what anyone does because you just get to say everyone can't do anything essentially except the things that you want them to do.
That's so goofy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it turns out like Yu-Gi-Oh has gotten really power crept, so they like kind of soft reset the game by making a different Yu-Gi-Oh, which is not power crept and different.
I see.
Which is what Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s was about. And actually, Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s was actually a pretty interesting series. If you can suspend your disbelief for long enough to believe that Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards still determine everything about life.
Again, for the 7th time.
At least they didn't go as far as the other ones where they were like, this Yu-Gi-Oh! Card is a nuclear reactor, actually. Like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards and Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s are literally just Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, which is, I appreciate they did that. Like, you can do things with them, but they're still Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. Anyways, I thought Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s was interesting. Interestingly, Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s was the first Yu-Gi-Oh! series where, like, they had a female protagonist that, like, won a duel where the other person didn't intentionally throw.
Oh, is it one of those shows usually?
What do you mean?
What, where they belittle female characters and make it seem like they're not as like strong?
They don't purposely belittle them. I just feel like they've never actually had like a girl that's a duelist where
they're like actually strong, or they're not just like some side character.
Well, no, they're
like,
actually
we win sometimes.
There were strong ones in Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, except they just didn't win. Like, there's never been a win by a girl that just won because the other person, like, lost.
I see.
Like, they were unironically good. They just lost.
I gotcha.
I think in the original Yu-Gi-Oh, it was kind of like that, where, like they didn't have any girls duel, but I think in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX they did, but all of them and they were supposedly good according to the story, but you never actually saw them win. Every time you saw them, they just lost for some reason because of plot.
No, that's so true. Yeah, the freaking blonde girl from the original series. I forget her name, but like she's like supposed to be like, oh, I'm so freaking good, and you see her win one match, and then like every time she's on the screen, all she does is lose now.
You mean Rebecca?
I don't remember her name. All I know is that she's like the blonde girl who like battles Joey or whatever.
Mai. I think
Mai.
It was either
that's her name.
Yeah. Mai is apparently good, but you never actually see her win. Actually, she wins once.
She wins once at the beginning.
No, she wins once later too, like when it actually matters. And she did, but like it didn't really count since the guy had to duel people back to back, so she kind of had an advantage anyways.
Oh, I see. Well, rip.
Anyways,
well, she probably would have beat Joey if it wasn't for Yugi stepping in or whatever.
Exactly. So like there hasn't really been like an unassisted win. Like in
I
ever.
gotcha.
And this was just so interesting. Also, Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's like was about like I think like middle schoolers. So it was literally just kids playing cards, which I really appreciated. They didn't I didn't try to take itself too seriously, you know?
Oh, you mean there wasn't any Kaibas popping up with 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons in the first episode?
There wasn't any Kaibas hacking into the mainframe, no, or building satellites to time travel.
Bro, I've only seen just a few, like maybe a handful of episodes of the original. And I freaking love Kaiba. I love how dumb he is, bro. I freaking love him so much. He's so stupid.
I like it.
He's so dumb. He's like, oh, I'm so cool, but oh, Yugi beat me that one time. I love him, bro. I hate him, but I love him.
No, you can't take it too seriously.
I just love how stupid he is. It's so good.
Well, no, but I like how Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's doesn't try to take itself too seriously. It's kind of like, you know, like all the previous Yu-Gi-Oh! Shows were kind of like adventure anime.
Well, I wouldn't know. I've only seen the first one, and by that I mean I've seen like 10
but it's kind of like the first one, where it's like kind of like more action packed and like like it tries to take itself seriously.
Right. Yeah.
Well, like Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's just doesn't. It's more like it's kind of slice of lifey. It's kind of more adventure-y. It just kind of feels like kids playing card games, but like in a very. It feels more anime than the rest of them, honestly, like, because it's so slice of lifey, it gets, like, a lot of the slice of life anime, sort of.
Would you say it's a lot more like Pokemon, then? Because Pokemon still has, like, stakes and whatnot, but it feels like there's a lot of slice of life stuff in Pokemon. There's, like,
yeah,
chill
it's
episodes.
like Pokemon, but, like, it doesn't take itself seriously.
Okay, I gotcha.
Like, it tries to meme on itself. Like, it understands that it's kind of, like, dumb that they're playing card games, and so, like, it tries to be funny.
I like that. No, that's funny.
Well, they just had like these meme decks, honestly. Like they're just literal meme decks. Like there's this one guy who just literally had like a ramen themed deck, and it was just no other reason, and because he just like he just makes ramen. He's like, oh, I have a ramen themed deck, and it's just supposed to be a joke, and it's funny. It doesn't try to take itself seriously, and I think that's great.
No, I think a ramen deck honestly sounds pretty up my alley. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, and so. Apparently there's one more after that, and there might be another one now. It's really hard to keep up.
Oh my gosh.
It's actually impossible to keep up with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime.
Just like One Piece?
I've given up. But no, I was just going back and watching it. Honestly, this conversation went on a lot longer than I thought, just talking about the old Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime.
Nah, it was fun. I mean, again, I don't have much experience as you do with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime, but it honestly sounds pretty interesting. I didn't even know there were that many series. I thought there was only like 5, but turns out there's like almost 9 or something. That's kind of crazy. Is this like they're still going on? Like, is there an active Yu-Gi-Oh! show now?
I actually don't know. That's how much there is. Let me check.
Interesting. Yeah, no, it's funny they say that because we briefly talked about One Piece before the freaking podcast. How I said there's over 1,000 episodes, and how I feel like you would be interested in One Piece, but it's just like it's almost impossible to get into nowadays.
I feel like there's definitely more One Piece episodes than freaking Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Surely there is.
Like, there's a website that says every
Yu-Gi-Oh!
series ranked, and it's already out of date, and that was in 2022.
That's funny. I feel like I would have heard something if there's like a new Yu-Gi-Oh show. Right?
11. There's 11.
11? What?
Yeah. Well, I guess technically one of them is like 2 seasons of one show, so there's 10. Yeah, there's 10.
Even still, that's a lot of series. How many episodes in total, does it say?
Yeah, 1,177. Plus 7. I don't know where the plus 7 came from.
What?
I guess they might be like extras.
Wait, there's actually more episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh than One Piece then.
What? Are there? I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it's not a single show though, so it doesn't really count.
I know. Still, that's interesting to think about. There's more Yu-Gi-Oh content episodes than One Piece. And the thing is, One Piece also has like a lot of like repeat episodes.
All right.
Just, like,
I will watch all of One Piece if you watch all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Every series.
I'm not doing that. Because the thing is, I don't have One Piece. The thing is that there's One Piece, which is the fan-edited version, which cuts down like all the filler. But there's probably nothing like that for Yu-Gi-Oh!
What is filler in Yu-Gi-Oh? What even counts as filler in Yu-Gi-Oh?
I don't know.
Yu-Gi-Oh is literally just about card games. What is filler?
Okay, but like, what if there's a Kaiba backstory and then there's like 20 flashbacks and like later episodes about the same Kaiba backstory or something? That's how One Piece works. There's a backstory that you see at like episode 20 and then they flash back to it like 50 different times throughout the show. Because they need to fill in the freaking holes in the episode that they just don't want to actually fill with content.
This is so funny. That kind of reminds me of like the one sandwich flashback in OKKO.
Oh yeah,
that, like
the
actually
sandwich.
Legit.
Yeah, no, okay, that was good though. That was a comedic and good setup.
That was so good. It was.
Because it was a running gag that you didn't think would like be that important. It turned out to actually be important. That was actually a good gag, especially since they utilized it like a good amount.
Actually, there was like another Yu-Gi-Oh movie. There was like actually 3 Yu-Gi-Oh movies. So there was like the one that you mentioned, which was Bonds Beyond Time, which was the crossover. But there was actually a movie for the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, before that. Like, right after the series ended, they made like, supposedly a canonical movie that didn't have any effect on the plot. But
Another one of those, we have to go to this other world, do this thing, and then we lose our memories at the end. Wow.
No. It wasn't another world. It was just like, oh, there's this new bad guy, and he gets defeated and never mentioned in the original series.
That's funny.
There was also, like, a spiritual successor to the original Yu-Gi-Oh!, which came out recently, which was called Yu-Gi-Oh! The Dark Side of Dimensions, which was, like, it takes place after the end of the original Yu-Gi-Oh!, which is kind of interesting.
I think I actually heard about that one. I think that's probably because of, I think I heard, like, the soundtrack for Yugi's theme from that movie or something. The transformation theme, that's such a good theme.
It is. I honestly think, like, the whole concept, aside from the whole, like, card games, was actually really creative, like, for the guy that made it. Like, I think back on it, and Yu-Gi-Oh! The original Yu-Gi-Oh! Was actually a very creative, like...
No, it definitely was.
Like, who would have thought, like, oh, there's this, like, ancient, like, dark magic that we have to, like, stop, and also there's, like, some ancient dead pharaoh, and he's, like, that alive again, and he only like one person can see him, and like they share a body or something. Who thinks of this? How did he think of this?
And the fact that it all centers around a card game of all things, like, bruh. And it almost makes you think he came up with the plot first, and then they were like, oh, by the way, we need to sell toys, so make it a card game. And he's just like, oh. I
actually think that's what happened.
Maybe.
The original Yu-Gi-Oh! Was like a manga. And then, like, they were like, oh, let's, like, and then I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Originally wasn't even a card game, but then they were like, actually, we need to make this a card game.
Yeah, we need to market, we need to sell toys to kids, so maybe that's why. That's interesting. Maybe that could be why. It's like the card game came second, and then they just kind of had to shoehorn it into the plot somehow.
Do you want to get on to the other topics? We've talked a long time about the Yu-Gi-Oh!
That's true. I did want to ask about the freaking football thing, because you briefly mentioned that before the podcast. And I was like, what the heck?
Okay, so this is really fun. I've been really disorganized recently, and my schedule's been all over the place, so I've been arriving late to, like, just kind of everything. But one of the times that I was late, so I go to UW, University of Washington, and apparently recently UW was in the national championship for football against University of Michigan or something, and everyone was talking about it. and they're like, "Hey, watch party at my house." I'm like, "Okay." And I was like so caught up doing homework that I just kind of forgot because I'm not really that into football and I actually don't know anything about it.
Right.
So I showed up late, and then I was just like, "Dang, I feel so bad I'm late." But I like showed up right at the end. They still had like a chance of coming back, but it was like really slim. And then they didn't come back, so UW kind of lost. And then earlier, I think today or yesterday, one of my friends was like, "Super Bowl watch party," and I'm just like, I kind of just feel like I should learn about football before the Super Bowl begins. Like, I just need to learn about everything about football, just so I just know. I just need to know so that I can like talk to people. I don't know. Even though I don't like it, and
it's like, so it's completely for social purposes. I was wondering, like, because when you said this, I was like, but you don't care about football. Like, I knew you did. I know I don't care about. I couldn't care less about football.
Yu-Gi-Oh, do you?
I do. I think Yu-Gi-Oh's cool. I mean, I'm not super into it, but like I can get more into it. But like for football, I don't care. Football is boring. Also, bro. I don't care.
Also, if you made it this far in the podcast, yes, I know it's called Yu-Gi-Oh. We just call it Yu-Gi-Oh.
No, we like mispronouncing things out here. Okay, listen. It's funny you mentioned that. Sorry to interrupt here, but I know it's because it's like a cultural word, but on one of my streams I mispronounced quesadilla as quesadilla for funny moments. Quesadilla, right? And the chat.
Oh no, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. I love that.
The chat hammered me, dude. They were like, they said quesadilla what? They were all like, what the heck? They were freaking destroying me, dude.
Oh my gosh.
And it makes sense.
You're becoming the next internet villain for mispronouncing quesadilla.
Because I always pronounce it as quesadilla because I think it's funny.
But it's hilarious.
It is fun. Obviously, it's like it's for like. It's like cultural wise, like there's culture behind the food, so it's like mispronouncing it, sure, might not be the best thing of all time, but it's like it is kind of goofy because it's like who pronounced it as quesadilla? I think it's because the fact I was reading it so nonchalantly, so they generally thought I pronounced it like as quesadilla. But I'm so used to saying it as quesadilla. They fell too far into the meme.
I honestly think they need to be part of the meme. They're just part of the meme at this point. It is part of the meme at this point.
It is.
The internet will destroy you for saying quesadilla.
Literally what it was. And the thing is, I think it's just because like I knew at the time that I was joking because I'm so used to saying quesadilla as a joke, but they didn't know that, so they're just like, did you actually think it's pronounced quesadilla?
Man, they got trolled so hard. That's so funny.
They did. And I had to like cover myself first because they actually were like getting on me like, do you actually not know how to pronounce it? I was like, no, I do, guys, please trust me, I do. I'm just joking.
Bro, I'm vouching for Zeez right here. Zeez would totally know how to say quesadilla, even though I've never actually heard him say it before. I swear he probably knows how to say it and didn't accidentally pronounce it and try to play it off as a meme.
No, easily.
Honestly, like, you could probably play off you mispronouncing anything as a meme if you mispronounce things as a joke. That's actually kind of funny.
I do mispronounce things a lot of time, but whenever it comes like to there being like a word that I haven't seen before, or, like I rarely see, I'm like, I don't know. I'll just take a guess.
I mean, I feel like you're pretty serious every time like you actually don't know how to pronounce something.
Yeah, I feel like it's more easy to tell. Whereas when I just say quesadilla, it's just like, bruh. There's no way you actually believe that.
There's no way Zeez is that confidently incorrect.
The thing is, like, it's so out there too. It's like it's not even close. It's not like quesadilla. Like I could have said quesadilla. But like quesadilla.
You accented it even in the wrong place. Like,
exactly. Like quesadilla. So stupid.
I learned this recently. Did you know that OK was kind of like one of the first memes?
Wait, what do you mean?
So OK comes from a phrase they used to say, which was all correct. And so people thought it would be kind of funny to spell it with a K, because it's funny, it's a meme.
Wait, and then you said all correct?
Yeah, all correct. That's what OK stands for.
AC, not OK. What?
Yes.
They mispronounced it twice.
Yeah, it's for the memes. You don't understand because you're not in on the joke.
So it should have been AC this whole time.
Yeah.
That's crazy. AC. It sounds like IC, honestly. AC.
Honestly, we could reverse OK to AC and make it a new meme.
I don't think you can force memes. but we can try.
I don't know. Quesadilla is a great meme.
Quesadilla, I do like Quesadilla. It's also fun to say. That's why I'll say it's fun. Quesadilla. It rolls off the tongue so well. Quesadilla. Everybody watching, try and say Quesadilla out loud right now.
We need to petition the Spanish dictionary to change the pronunciation to Quesadilla.
Yeah, hey guys, it's me, American YouTuber. Let me just go ahead and just
I'm
mess
a
with other
live
people's
streamer and
language and
American
culture.
YouTuber. We need to change the pronunciation of this very cultural word to Quesadilla. Thank you.
All because I think it's funny. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Forget any cultural impact or history that this
cultural
food item
meaning,
has.
impact, or anything. Yeah, this food is Quesadilla now.
Because me, American YouTuber / live streamer, said so. Oh my gosh, that's so goofy.
Well, I wanted to ask you about some of your topics. You know.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Like, what is this positive mindset is broken? We need to talk about that.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's so true. All right. So we have to talk about sad things first before we get into the positive stuff. So I was actually really sad, like a week ago.
Oh no, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. But I was just sad. I was just like reflecting on like the stuff that I've done so far, and I was like, oh man, I'm still pretty talentless, all things considered. I haven't really done too much.
You're not talentless. You literally have a YouTube channel.
Okay. But like without that, I was like, without YouTube, what am I?
I feel like you're pretty talented even without YouTube. But
okay, name one thing I'm good at.
I don't know. I feel like you could be good at a lot of things. You just haven't
Could
practiced
be.
a lot of them.
No, that's the thing. I'm only good at like one thing, but like there's a lot of people that are good at like a lot of things. You're good at programming, cooking, socializing. Now apparently you're getting into football.
I'm not good at socializing. I literally was bad at it. I'm literally only getting into it because I'm bad at socializing.
I'm joking with that one at least. There's many other things I could list off, but like, and that's like part of the reason why I was just kind of sad. And I realized that it was kind of affecting my work because I had like really, really bad efficiency like that week. Because it's just like, oh man, all my videos are trash. They're not making enough money. Like when tax returns comes along this freaking April, like how much money am I gonna lose this year? I was pretty concerned about it, right? I was pretty.
Bro, this is like
concerned.
such an adult concern. We're such adults now. Worrying about our tax returns.
It's so weird because the thing is like I don't keep track of it, so like I don't know how much money I'm gonna lose every year due to tax returns. Because usually like, you expect.
How does filing for taxes even work as a YouTuber? That sounds like a nightmare.
It's not honestly that bad. It kind of just works the exact same way. You just get like a form sent by them. But the thing is more just like. There's just like a few extra steps, and also instead of getting money, you actually lose like a ton of money instead. Most people for their tax returns, they get back like, oh look, I got back a few $100. I got back $1,000.
Really? I lose money on my tax returns.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I lose a lot of money on my tax returns.
I lose quite a bit of money. I feel like I lose like, well, I'm not gonna say it on the podcast.
I'm not gonna say how much I lose either, but
I maybe lose. I mean. I don't make that much, guys. I maybe lose like 10-20%.
Oh, yeah, I lose about 20 to 30% of what I make a year.
I mean, it depends on how much you make, but, you know, that's how taxes be working. But I don't know, I just feel like you are good at a bunch of stuff. You're, like, a really determined person, and you work really hard, and I don't know, I just feel like I feel like you could be good at, like, a lot of stuff, and you just, like, you're just working at YouTube right now, so that's just what you happen to be good at. It doesn't say anything about you.
No, don't worry. I was saying we have to go through the sad stuff first before we get to the positive mindset. Don't worry.
Okay, positive stuff. All right.
No, it reached its peak when I uploaded my freaking Edit and Eddie video on my second channel, and I don't think that video even has 1,000 views yet. It actually performed worse than the free run video, believe it or not.
What?
I honestly couldn't believe that.
Incredible.
I was like, okay, the Edit and Eddie video, I was like, surely it performs better than the free run video.
Do you think YouTube's just not like pushing your videos because you haven't like kept up with a consistent upload schedule?
I think there's 3 reasons. It's because 1, obviously I haven't been uploading. 2, the subscribers that 2, like Owl House has been over for so long, so all the subscribers that are on my channel are all like Owl House Amphibia fans, and they're all interested. They've all gone off into like different interests now. And 3, obviously, I'm not posting Owl House Amphibia.
Shedding subscribers currently, right?
I'm not really. The thing is, I wish I was, but I'm not. It's actually It would be better if I was losing subscribers, because if I was losing subscribers, that means people who are disinterested in my videos would be like, they wouldn't be affecting my spot in the algorithm anymore.
Oh, I see. So, like, you have, like, stale subscribers then, right? Because, like, people that are subbed but aren't engaged.
Yes, exactly. It's an empty number. And that's why I was so disappointed, because it's just like, well, ZZD2 is, like, kind of a ghost town now. It's got, like, a big number on it, but it's still a ghost town. Unless I upload, like, Owl House or Amphibia, it's just not going to get any numbers.
Does this mean ZZD1 is actually the real channel now?
Well, I'm not gonna get into that.
I'm sorry, that was a bad joke. That was a bad joke.
Oh no,
that was poorly timed.
No, I'm not saying that was. No, that was fine. That's at a different time. I've been planning something for a little bit. A different time though. That I could get into a discussion for that later. But after just like uploading those videos, I was like, man, this sucks. ZZD2 is like barely like not making much money anymore. Like the only channel that's making good money now is the Identity 5 channel, which was just like a recent channel that I made. Thank goodness I honestly did that, because I'd be in trouble if I wasn't. But that's totally. That's where I just kind of like was like so down in the dumps, and then for a whole day I didn't do like anything. It was like last Wednesday, I forget. It was some day. I just sat there in my bed and I was like, what do I do? Like, I'm gonna run out of money by like next May if tax returns like kills me. So it's like, what am I supposed to do? And then I was just like, you know what? Who cares? I was just like, you know what? We ball. Because I don't know what it was. It's so weird. At like dark times, you just get like hit with like a freaking positivity arrow, I guess. I don't know how to call it. I don't know how to describe it. It was just
everyone's like that, but I think that's really interesting that it happened to you. I don't know.
I was just like, well, here's the thing. Like, why would I ever just focus on being negative? And I was just like, what if I just like had a giant beam of light of positivity just hit me right now, and then boom, I was just like, oh man, I just got hit with a bunch of positive aura. Boom, that was cool.
No, this is like that one Gravity Falls meme where like it's just like you open the window.
Yeah, no, I don't know what it was. I basically doxed myself into thinking I was happy. Not doxed.
Doxed yourself.
Not doxed myself. What's the word? What's the freaking word? Gaslighted. I gaslit myself into thinking I was like super positive and happy, and then it just worked.
That's how gaslighting works, though. But
well, I say gaslighting as a meme because it's the funny haha trigger happy meme. Funny. The kids think it's a funny word.
Oh,
so
I
gaslit myself into thinking I was happy and having a positive mindset, and then it just worked. And then I was like, oh, man.
That's just kind of how it works, though. I actually needed to do that with myself recently, where I was just like, I don't know, I was just kind of saying too many negative things to myself. And then I was like, then I just like tried saying more positive stuff to myself. And I don't know, it just seems like it's so inconsequential, but that actually works.
It is. It's so weird because like, you literally just like hit yourself with like positive rays, and it just freaking works. Because the next day,
beaming it into yourself.
The next day, I was so proficient. I felt so much better. And all it took was a mindset. Like, it's insane. Like, obviously, I knew this before, but it's just like, sometimes you get down in the dumps, and it's like, man, like, if somebody just tells you, like, cheer up, think positive thoughts, like, it's like, I don't want to hear that. Shut up. Like, it only works if you can do it yourself. Like, hearing it from somebody else, it doesn't really work all the time.
I don't know. I just feel like you have to overcome your cringe and just have to, like, say good things about yourself. I feel like...
Yeah, exactly, right.
Cringe, like, I don't know, like, I don't know, since I'm an adult now, like, as a teen, I was like, no, I will never be cringe, and now as an adult, I'm like, oh, whatever, I'll be cringe.
No, that's 100% how it is. Like, in your teen years, you try your best not to be cringe, and then you realize once you're an adult that being cringe is freaking awesome.
Well, being cringe and not having a problem with it is awesome. Like, you have to have the confidence, you know?
Yeah, well, I could be cringe in private. I can't be cringe out in public. If I did like a freaking... I don't know.
I'm not sure
if I did my YouTuber voice like out in public, I would cringe too hard.
Yeah, I would. I'm not sure about that one. I don't know.
But around my friends, like I'll be as cringe as I want, dude.
Cringe in terms of like internally, like you shouldn't.
Yeah.
I feel like you need to like not cringe too much at yourself in your own head. That's like not great.
For sure.
Like obviously we all need a little cringe in our lives to keep us from doing cringy things, but. Like, sometimes we just need to dial it back, I think.
For sure. I just wanted to, like, mention that, like, just, again, having a positive mindset is actually just like, so busted. Because that day that I was negative, I got nothing done. Like, I got maybe, a little bit of editing done.
I thought what you meant by positive mindset is broken is, like, you had a positive mindset and it was broken. But now you're saying it just is a broken strategy.
No, I meant, like, broken as in, like, haha, it's, like, S tier. It's, like, stupid strat. Like, if you want to win at life, just think positive.
God tier strats.
That's all you gotta do. And that was it. Like the next day, I got so much stuff done, and I honestly just felt good. And I'm still riding that train right now. And like every day, I'm just waking up and I'm like, wow, I'm alive today. That's cool. Like, what if I just died tomorrow? Like that'd be sad. But I'm alive today. That's cool. I think I also like read something that was like, hey, would you rather like have $1 million but die tomorrow?
Oh, why would I want $1 million and die tomorrow?
But that's the thing. Guess what? If you would rather want $1 million now, that means tomorrow is worth $1 million. Ha 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 ha. That's the joke. It means living one more day is worth $1 million or whatever. Get it?
Oh,
it's like some corny little like dad joke, whatever. But I still thought it was like
this is like such a dad joke. This is like
it was like a dad joke, but it was kind of it was a cute dad joke.
From your own channel just for saying that. Honestly,
what do you
so
mean?
Cringe.
No, oh, come on. I thought it was sweet. I thought it was kind of sweet.
I think it is sweet, but it's a little cringe, and you have to admit that.
It is cringe, but I mean like it's a sweet kind of cringe. Like it was definitely it's something your dad would say to you like before bedtime or something.
Yeah, I would. Honestly,
it's like, Dad, I'm scared of death. It's like, well, would you rather die tomorrow or have $1 million? That means tomorrow's worth $1 million. Haha, get up and smile, kiddo. I don't know. That's just what I think. That's just what I think.
I mean,
about
it puts a smile on my face. That's for sure.
I don't. It just means we value life, and if you value life, that means it's like, wow, if we're still alive, let's just be happy. Because why not? Gaslight yourself into being happy, guys. That's all it takes. I shouldn't say that because obviously, like depression is a serious issue. But I just mean like, if you're feeling down in the dumps, like obviously, like serious trouble, that's
like, this is not mental health advice, everyone. Zeez is not a therapist.
This is specifically for like if you're down in the dumps in like a temporary moment, just like try to think positive mindset. Obviously, if it's like if it's like a depressive state or like
I don't know, this is like kind of like working out. Like working out is good, saying good things to yourself is good, but like if you're sick, like you should see a doctor.
yeah. No, exactly. I didn't want to like make that seem as if I was trying to say like, oh, if you're depressed, just be happy, guys. No. That's obviously not how it works.
Don't you know if you have asthma, you should just breathe?
Yeah, just breathe, guys. Like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
This is so easy. Watch.
Yeah, guys. Oh my gosh, wow. It's like, oh my. I know. I'm not trying to say that specific. I just mean like for.
No, I get. I think it was pretty abundantly clear that you weren't.
Yeah, it's just because everybody gets down in the dumps, right? Everybody gets down in the dumps, so. There's a difference between like genuine.
Yeah, now just imagine Zeez is saying positive things to you.
Yeah, I'll just come out of a ghost in the sky that you can do it. Don't give up. Yeah, you got this. You're my friend. I believe in you. Anyway, clip that. You need to clip
those. You need to clip that.
Yeah, clip that and make it your alarm, guys. There you go.
No, you need to make those like little clips like that can play during your streams. Like, yeah, you can do it, Zeez.
I believe in you. I'll make that. I'll do that to myself. It's like, man, I sure am feeling down. Let me just play my own voice and cheer myself up. You can do it. Yeah, you got this. Oh, it's so stupid.
No, it's so stupid, but it's so funny.
I'll just be my own cheerleader. Literally. You got this. You're my friend. You're awesome. You're crazy.
Oh my gosh, this is so good. We do need to clip those. You better clip those.
I might clip it. I think it was funny, honestly. I won't even lie.
Okay, I'm still laughing because it's so funny. Okay, do you want to get into the last topic or do you want to cap it off?
I think, honestly, this is a good spot to cap it off here. I was thinking about getting the last topic, but I think I want to save it for when Racecar627's on the podcast, because I kind of want to hear how he'll react to it specifically.
Honestly, Racecar627 probably has so many to talk about for this topic, so till next time.
Till next time, I suppose. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching. I do appreciate it, as always. This is episode 26. That's right. I almost forgot what episode it was. I forgot we had episode 25. We'll be back, hopefully, next week, same time. Thanks for watching. Once again, we'll see you later. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Bye-bye.
Yeah, you got this. Ah!
I believe in you, yeah.
I believe in you. All right, bye, guys.
Bye-bye.